everybody, welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I'm here to review Hogwarts Legacy. Now, this game has been a game that I've been looking forward to since the moment it was announced. The Harry Potter universe has had some okay games in the past. I mean, the Quidditch game and whatnot was kind of fun, but for the most part, the Harry Potter games have been like, meh. And for years, it's been one of those worlds that just is like asking to have an open world game about it. Now, there's been a couple movies, a couple franchises. I made a list years ago, which I might make another one, who knows, of movies and TV shows that were primed for open world games. That like the world itself could have an open world game. Just to give you a little brief little summary, Men in Black was one of them, and the Dread franchise was one of them. I just thought that movie and those worlds had so much potential. And the Harry Potter world has obvious potential to have an open world game. Like, there's just so much lore, there's so much history, there's so much adventure in the movies themselves. So when we hear that they're gonna make a video game where you get to create your own wizard and go into Hogwarts and it's open world and you learn the spells and whatnot, all of us jumped. All of us, who are fans of fantasy or in Harry Potter itself, we were thrilled. And it's been a little bit since we've had a really great open world game outside of let's say Red Dead Redemption and things of that nature. Because we thought that Cyberpunk was going to be that new big open world game, and it didn't turn out to be what we thought it was going to be. And I am happy to say that Hogwarts is fucking amazing. All honesty, I got this game, I'll be for real, I could have reviewed this a week ago, maybe even weeks ago. I got this game 2 days before it came out. I got the early access. So I've been playing it for a minute, but I really, really, really wanted to unlock everything. I wanted to unlock everything, and I really wanted to get a better grasp of the game, because I was like, okay, well, I haven't gotten this yet, I haven't gotten this yet, there's still so much to see, there's still so much to do. I wanted to really be able to get into the game itself in all aspects. I didn't want there to be something that was bugging me. I didn't want to review the game, then later on be like, dude, man, this aspect of this game sucked. You know what I mean? I didn't want to do that. The same thing I did with Cyberpunk. I was like, I'm gonna wait with Cyberpunk, because if I review this down, I'm gonna fucking go unleash on it. Didn't change my opinion on it by the time I ended up reviewing it. But this game, oh man, this game is so fucking good. This game is doing for me what Harry Potter, with Clone Wars and what Clone Wars was doing for me for Star Wars, because I remember watching Clone Wars and being like, I like this shit. So no, The Mandalorian and Clone Wars. I remember watching the Clone Wars and Mandalorian and loving those shows so much that it made me want to go back and look up more Star Wars lore shit, because I'm so into this introduction. This is what this game is doing to me. The game is making me want to go back and watch the movies. The game is making me want to go back and read the book. The game is making me want to look up the fucking wiki page to just look up little details in Google and YouTube, small things about this world. Because I always knew this Harry Potter world was full of juicy, Easter eggs and references and just all kinds of things. But when you play an open world game that really gets into it, and this game really gets into it, this is one of those open world games you get lost in. Some open world games, you play it, and there's not a lot to actually do. It's a big map, but there's not a ton to actually do. You know what I mean? This is not one of those games. This game, there is a lot to do. I mean, a damn near Witcher 3 level of tasks to do. And for the most part, all of them are so varied and different. You got these Merlin trials, which some vary, but which there is variations in some of them, but they're these little puzzles. You have other puzzles in there. You obviously got this whole thing going on in Hogwarts, where you can get in conversations with students. You got these tasks you can do for the teachers to learn new spells. There's so much to do in the game, and I mean a lot to do. You got the stuff with your broom. You got you can save animals, and they can help. You can save animals. There's a lot to do. A lot to do in this game. You can get lost in it. You really can. And dude, I spent an hour trying to gain enough money to buy a big pot to make more potions in. It's crazy. Like I say, if I got into it, I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, so I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty details, but there's so much to do, and Hogwarts itself is the star, which it should be, of the show. They managed to really capture the scale from the movie. Often, in video game movie adaptations of things, they don't tend to capture it. You know what I mean? Like, I love some of the X-Men games, but you see Xavier's mansion, you think that shit should be a lot bigger than that. Like, sometimes you can't capture it. You know what I mean? You can't capture it. You can't capture what the movie showed, because, we all, when I was watching the Harry Potter movie, were in awe of this massive castle, and, like, the kids get to stay in a castle. And they really did a great job of capturing that scale. When you're in Hogwarts, it feels massive. It feels like Hogwarts. It feels like you're just in the school. And there's so much to do in Hogwarts. I had a friend tell me that he got to level 20 before he ever left Hogwarts. Which just tells you right there how much there is to actually do in the school before you even are forced to leave the school for a mission. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do everywhere. There's a lot to do everywhere. And the map is actually a lot bigger than I thought. I was under the impression that it would probably be Hogsmeade and Hogwarts. Like, I'm thinking, in my brain, I'm like, okay, it's open world. But it's not going to be that open world. There's still going to be, it's just going to be like, Hogwarts and a little bit of area around Hogwarts. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Bully. When this game first got announced, I was like, oh, well, Bully, but Harry Potter. Especially when you see, them learn the lessons and, try the magic spells and stuff. But really, that's only at the beginning of the game, and it really doesn't happen like that. But I'll save that for my complaints about the game, because I do have a couple. But I digress. No, the map is a lot bigger than you think. Or it's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's expansive. And you can tell, and you can see the areas that are meant for DLC, because you can clearly see the area. Like, when it's like, the invisible walls there, usually you can't really see anything. But I know, like, back when, this is where I first saw it, back when, New Vegas came out, and some of the DLC areas, you could clearly see that's an area. You know what I mean? That I should be able to go in, but I can't. And there's a couple areas like that in the world of that where you're like, I should be able to go here, but I can't yet. But yeah, so there's so like I said, they captured the game and some. The combat system, which is another thing I was super worried about, because while I enjoyed the Harry Potter franchise, I can't say wizard battles with the wands were the most exciting things, you know what I mean? But I hearken that to the equivalent of the lightsaber battles in the original trilogy. Look, we all love the original Star Wars trilogy, but those weren't the best lightsaber fights we've ever seen. I mean, it was okay. Like, it was serviceable. It wasn't so terrible. It wasn't terrible. But then you see, like, shit, and like the one thing that I'll say George Lucas did fucking do a good job with was making lightsaber battles look dynamic, look fluid, look like they're fucking actual warriors, and, and that is something they did in this game. I hope if they ever do make another movie, if they ever do make sequels or a reboot, that they capture the feeling of how they use their wands. Because it was so dynamic, the way they spin the wands and the spells and the way your character is with it. Like, he's moving with it. It feels like there's a cinematic quality dynamic to it. Whereas in the movies, it was just like, Expelliarmus! But initially, like, Expelliarmus and go that. Like, that's how it would be, right? If you have access to these spells, it's about combining the spells. It's less of a, like, in the Harry Potter world, they really made it seem like it was just whoever got their spell off first. It was whoever said it first, not the spell, the combination of the spell. If you could, like, it was just like. But in this, it seems like technique. It seems like skill. It's like I have to know these spells. I have to know when to cast these spells. I have to cast these spells in tandem together. I have to also block and like stupefy. Like, there's so much to do, and all the spells from the movie are here. Plus some that I never even heard of before. So that's awesome. Also, a great supporting cast. Great supporting cast. Fun. Every one of the characters you interact with are interesting. Now, are very interesting. And like this cute kid, like this, like a kid kind of way. Like, because at the end of the day, as, you know, it does bother me sometimes that I was like, dude, like, my character's clearly like 16 years old or something, and like there's no flirtatious thing going on at all, like whatsoever. You know, I always get weirded about that because I was 16 once. I'm like, yeah, there's no fucking way you would have a bunch of fucking 16-year-old, 17-year-old kids in the same vicinity as each other, and there wouldn't be flirtatious things going on. But I accept that. It's, you know, it's a little, you know, they don't want to go too hard, even though they'll have you murder, they'll straight up kill people. But flirtatious, that's a little too much. I got you. But now, like I say, there's just anything else kind of be a spoiler. Flying the broom is awesome. Flying a hippogriff is awesome. All the NPCs are awesome. The combat is awesome. Graphically, it has it does have a slightly cartoonish vibe to it, but I think it lends itself to the charm of the game. You get to choose your house, and the house actually matters to a certain extent. Not completely. It's not that bad. It's not like so changing, but depending on the house you choose, the area, like, you know, your little dorm room area is completely different. And there is one main story plot beat that is also completely different depending on the story you choose. And it's like, it's completely different. Like, there's one big plot point that's completely different. Also, when you interact with other characters, side missions and whatnot, they reference you being whatever house you are. So that's also really good. I was Ravenclaw. I don't know, like, you know what? I mean, me and my friend Seth, ever since we were kids, when we took that Harry Potter test and it said we were Ravenclaw, we've been repping Ravenclaw, so obviously, you know, I was Ravenclaw, and it was really cool to see it mentioned, hey, you're a Ravenclaw. Like when I saw the puzzle, of course you saw the puzzle, you're a Ravenclaw. Or when I'm having a conversation about one thing, oh, well, you're a Ravenclaw. I do like, it makes me more immersed in the game when my decision, the house I chose made a difference. Now, I'm curious if they make a sequel, if they're going to transfer your character over, or are you going to just be a new student? That is curious to me. I would assume they just transfer it over, fucking go full Mass Effect mode. Oh, that'd be nice. Anywho, I do have a few complaints. Okay, a few complaints sounds bad. After you go to the initial classes, particularly in the first couple hours of the game, after that, the classes are kind of like just there. Hell, when you go to learn a lesson from the teacher, like, I thought that it was going to be like every spell you learn, you have to go to the teacher and it's going to be a nice little scene and he's going to teach you the spell. There's going to be a cutscene. Maybe not even a cutscene, but something. But no, they just kind of tell you to do some random shit. You do the random shit, you show up to the classroom, they skip through the lesson, and then they tell you to just do the spell. Also, how you learn the spells is a bit, like, lame. Like, I don't mind it. It's not nothing that's, like, bothersome. But yeah, just that, X, up, Y, square, and this, bam, it's done. It's like, oh, okay, that easy, huh? Like, and the problem, and I wouldn't have such a problem with it if it wasn't for the fact that the actual tasks they ask you to do before they can teach you that spell have absolutely nothing to do with the spell they're actually teaching you at all. Like, what the fuck does me using a push spell have anything to do with me shooting a fireball? Like, what the fuck does that have anything to do with anything? That's not something that's in it, but I'm saying that's an example of the side mission you have to go on for a teacher to teach you a new spell. Also, the upgrade system, while I appreciate it and like it, and I do like it, I would, like, there's room to grow there. There's room to grow. There could be more variety to the upgrade system. There could be more variety to how you upgrade certain spells. I do wish you could just focus on each individual spell had its own tree. I wish like each individual spell had its own magical tree that you could upgrade instead of this. You upgraded once and that's it. Like, some of that stuff is unclear. It's very unclear. The Merlin trials can be a bit repetitive. A lot of the trials can be a bit repetitive. And, what else? I gotta say, this is just me. I do wish you could have a love interest. For me, when it comes to open world games, I do like a little romance in it, because when I play an open world game, especially an open world RPG where I get to create my character, I I like to create the fantasy myself. I like to create my own idea and write my own story. And whenever I'm doing my own story, I'm like, oh, I like to have love interest in this. And for it not to have that, it is a bit, you know, I get it. They're kids. Like, at least that's what they're, oh, they're younger, they're kids, they're 16 and whatnot. So I get why they didn't have it in there, but I would have liked it all the same. It could have been an innocent thing. It didn't have to be anything over the top. It could have just been something innocent, but it's fine. It wasn't there. Also, it is a bit weird that these kids are so comfortable with murdering people. Like, it's something that really doesn't get brought up, but it's like, you know, granted, you at the beginning of the game, like, you know, you're an exchange student, and, oh, another thing awesome. Nice lore. Apparently there's a big-ass school in Uganda. I love that, dude. I love more lore on the Harry Potter world and the other schools. And once again, why the fuck did those other schools not get involved when Voldemort was raging? I'll never know. But, you know, just minor complaints. Because the game overall is a 9 out of 10 for me. I love it. I have fun with it every day. I've been playing it non-stop for a week now. If you're a Harry Potter fan, go get this game. Go get Hogwarts Legacy. It is fucking awesome. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.